Hey guys, how's it going? In My Hero One's Justice 2, there are a lot of really cool looking plus ultras that we don't get to see. Maybe because the team can't do it, maybe you just don't get a chance to, or maybe the plus ultras are just on characters that you don't see played that often. So today, I'm going to be showing you the top 10 plus ultras in My Hero One's Justice 2. But before we start guys, I just want to say thank you for all the support on the videos lately. It really means a lot to me. Anyway, back to the video. For number 10 we have Muscular, a character that has sucked since launch. We don't see him very often, which is understandable since he's one of the worst characters in the game, but his plus ultra 2 is so cool. It starts off with him fully charging his muscles, then punching the opponent. He then punches them into the air and smacks them down to the ground. Then he just starts going nuts with a barrage of punches, looks up at the camera and says, "This is fun." While this is number 10 in my list, it definitely reminds you of how brutal and dangerous Muscular can actually be. For number 9 we have Present Mike. Now, Present Mike's plus ultra isn't on here because of how flashy it is, it's on here because of how unique it is. It's very Deadpool-esque, you'll see what I mean in a second. It begins with Mike screaming at his opponent. Then Mike looks at the player, breaking the fourth wall and saying, "It's time for a plus ultra," very similar to the tutorial hints he gives you when you first start the game. From here, he starts screaming at the opponent from all different directions. Then finally, he pulls open the screen and screams at the opponent one more time, then does this cool pose. Does this prove Present Mike knows he's in the game? Who knows? Maybe that's something we could look into one day. For number 8, we have the main character of the show, Izuku Midoriya, more specifically, Shoot Style Deku. We chose this Deku over Base and 100 because his plus Ultra 2 looks the best. It starts off with Deku literally doing a Shioken Ryu style, then he kicks them into the air and uses his hands to also push himself in the air. Then he big boots them out of the way to get back to the ground, jumps back into the air, starts kicking the crap out of the opponent like he's going for it, as if he has something to prove. And after getting all his anger out, Deku kicks the enemy in the stomach so hard that it sends them crashing to the ground. So hard that they bounce, and then the camera gets all cinematic and slows down, and then out of nowhere, Deku, with the anger of 1,000 gods, punches you so hard that there is no way you didn't break at least 20 bones while all of that was happening. For our 7th best plus ultra, we have the smoky butler himself, Kurogiri. Kurogiri's plus ultra starts off with him literally turning into a ball of smoke and lunging towards you. Then he opens a portal under the opponent and pulls them into it. Then opens a bunch of portals with a barrage of shadow punches coming out of them. Then, after Kurogiri's done beating you with his shadows, he makes a freaking shadow tornado and aims it straight at you, doing a bunch of damage. For number 6, we have the Symbol of Peace, All Might. This may be 6th on the video, but for me, this is one of my favorite plus ultras. It starts off with All Might punching the opponent. Then he unloads on them, Star Platinum style. Then, with the final punch, punches them so hard that All Might literally sends them into space. And afterwards, All Might looks so proud of himself. I love this one so much. From here, we get into the flashy plus ultras, and to show off the first of these, we have Todoroki. He starts off by unleashing his ice, then he goes full sports festival and activates both his fire and ice, then uppercuts you with his fire, launching the opponent into the air. Then Todoroki jumps up to cook the opponent a little bit, then finally, both land on the ground and Todoroki says, "Maybe I overdid it." You think, Todoroki, you think. You literally just cooked this man alive. Of course you overdid it. Overhaul V2. The only thing that doesn't suck about him is his plus ultra 2. It starts with Shiseki impaling his opponent with the rocks. Then he makes more spiky rocks and shoots them towards the enemy. Then after that, he straight up crucifies them like this is a daily thing for Shiseki. Then he screams. You think the person who got crucified would be screaming, but no, Shiseki does enough for them, even though he isn't the one getting crucified. Boob, edgy boob, Tokoyami! His plus ultra starts with Dark Shadow going nuts and punching the opponent. Then you enter the Shadow Realm and Dark Shadow is looking for the opponent. Then he finds them and slaps them so hard they end up in the air. Then with his other arm grabs them and starts smacking them into the ground over and over again. Then finally throws them into the air and eats them, but then decides they didn't taste that good, so he spits them out and Tokoyami regains control. For number 2, we have the flame hero Endeavor. He starts off by letting out a huge pulse of fire, then he starts charging towards the enemy, grabs them by the face and straight up cooks them alive. But wait, it gets so much more brutal. Then Endeavor charges up a freaking spirit bomb made of pure hellfire. Who would have thought Endy was a DBZ fan? Then, just as he throws it at the opponent, who presumably is not living after this, gets hit with the hellfire spirit bomb. In all seriously though, there is no way you would walk away from this alive. It is so brutal. Number 1, the best plus ultra in My Hero 1's Justice 2, and our first and last plus ultra 3. It starts with Compress throwing marbles at the opponent, but they just deflect them. What the opponent doesn't realize is that those marbles were Toguro twice. My man Compress really hit them with the Demon Wind Shuriken from the Zabuza fight in Naruto. Anyway, after this, Toguro and Twice jump ahead while both holding a rope. Then, they use that rope to pull the enemy towards them and have a little dance. Then Compress shouts, "Finale!" and spawns hundreds and hundreds of knives in the air, then jumps up while holding Toga and Twice, turning all 3 of them into marbles, and they pass straight through the knives. Then, all of those knives fall down on the opponent, doing devastating damage, and 9 times out of 10, killing the enemy in a fight. To me, this is the coolest plus ultra in the game, and very few come close to it. But let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think is the best plus ultra in My Hero 1's Justice 2? My name is Webb, hope you enjoyed the video, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.